We are adding another row to my blanket. This time I finished The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. So here's the review. For me, the characters really do change and grow throughout this tale, but my issue is rooted in that somehow they still fell a little flat for me, didn't leap off the page. I'd hoped for a little bit more in this aspect because for me, a character makes or breaks the story. And so for all of this, I would say that the characters were a 7 out of 10. I love fantasy when it throws me into a world with little to no explanation or world building, but this book in particular took that concept a little too far because I have no idea how anything works in this book. Like Tao, the main character, is a fortune teller, but there's no real explanation as to why she is able to tell fortunes. She can tell through tea leaves, through stones, through palm reading, and I understand that it could just be rooted in general, like psychic stuff. But I don't know. I wanted a little bit more in terms of building it out. So I gave Atmosphere a 7 out of 10 as well. Now, for writing, I was really, really, really impressed with the writing. This is a debut novel, and I did give the writing a 9 out of 10. I love the style of writing in this. It's elegant and beautiful. This was the standout category in my humble opinion. I would read more from Julie Leong, even if it weren't a fantasy book. For plot, like I was saying, the main character Tao is a teller of small fortunes because she learned a long time ago that big fortunes also have big consequences. Tao is adventuring through the land and ends up finding her family along the way. Found family is a huge aspect to this. I loved that part, right? But even the most exciting events in this book fell short of the excitement. So I gave the plot a 7 out of 10. There is a part where we are building up to war, and it just didn't seem that interesting. So let's talk about intrigue and enjoyment. I found myself wandering off a lot in certain areas, taking numerous breaks to doom scroll. I think that the plot is very low stakes, and it didn't manage to keep my interest at all times, but I also couldn't take too many points off of intrigue and enjoyment because the writing is so great. So intrigue and enjoyment, I'm giving 8 out of 10 for both. And then for logic, we need to add a little bit more world building. I don't mind being dropped into the world with little to no information, like I said, but I feel like I walked away with barely anything. And so I gave it 8 out of 10 for logic, which means that averaging everything out, this book got 7.43 out of 10, making it a 3.75 star read based off of my scale. And I think that that's perfectly acceptable for a debut novel. And here is what my blanket is looking like so far. Let me know what you think.